Afternoon, folks. I'm Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters in the Pathfinder School, and I'm back down here at the Pathfinder Outdoor Classroom here at the Pathfinder School in Southeast Ohio, where we teach lots and lots of classes from basic, intermediate, and advanced survival to navigation intensive, wilderness first aid, Red Cross certified, as well as CPR, ropes and rigging, medicinal edible plants, and lots of other classes you can choose from on our website at selfrelianceoutfitters.com under the training tab. So to today's video, what I want to show you today is I have a Brunton compass here. And this is not a brand new one by any means, but it has developed a bubble inside the housing here, an air bubble. And that can happen from lots and lots of things. Drastic changes in barometric pressure, drastic changes in pressure, period. If you put this thing underneath a plane when you travel, in the cargo hold of the plane, you're almost guaranteed to have a bubble at the other end. So there are lots of things that you can do to your compass unintentionally that can create a bubble in the housing. Now, does that bubble really hurt anything? It depends on the size of the bubble. Generally speaking, a small bubble won't hurt the compass's ability to navigate. It's just a little unsightly, and if you don't like it, it's easy to fix. Now, how do you fix the bubble in a compass? Well, there's several ways that you can attempt to fix this. The first thing you can do is put it out in direct sunlight. Put it out in direct sunlight for several hours and see if that makes the bubble disappear. This compass has been laying out here for about an hour, this housing. You can see how small that bubble is already, right? Compared to what it started out as. So maybe another hour, it may be completely gone. So before you call Brunton and have to change your housing, try this because it does work some of the time. Sometimes that will work, sometimes it will not. If you can't get the bubble to disappear, you can get a new housing, a new magnetic housing for this compass directly from Brunton. They have fantastic customer service. It's a US-based company in Wyoming. It's owned by a woman, and Lauren is a fantastic individual. So they will take care of you if you call them and you have a problem. In my case, I told them just to send me a new inner housing and I would replace it myself. And so in the mail, I got this small plastic bag, and inside it is a brand new housing for this compass, all right? I'm gonna show you how to install that today. Okay, so when we open this compass, you can see that small bubble floating around in the housing. So we want to replace this housing with a new one. How do we do that? Well, the first thing we do is we push this thing down. We just put our fingers on the back of the plate and push down in the center of the housing, just like this. And that'll pop it right out. And then this drops out and you can set that aside, okay? Now, what you've got to do here is you've got to push this again, push that completely out of the housing, and there it is right there, okay? And this is the part you're gonna replace, and there's a small ring on there that you're gonna take off for your lines that you'd line up the grid lines or your scale, protractor scale on there for your inclinometer. You're gonna set that aside. This housing is what you're going to replace. And you can see there's a little nub on here where there was a plastic tab. We're gonna take this new housing and it's got a plastic tab on it right there, okay? So it's the same exact housing with that tab. Now we can just take that tab and snap it off just like that. Again, no tools necessary, and we're good to go. Now, you need to grease this just a little bit. And I'm just using lard here. I've just got some lard on a stick. It's not that big of a deal. It just helps this thing spin better if it's got some grease on it. So I just rub some around it with my finger and I don't worry about it, okay? And I can wipe the excess off afterwards. And then I start putting things back together. All right, so this small ring here is not only your navigational lines for grid orientation, it's also got a degree scale on it here for your inclinometer and also for adjusting your declination. So what we need to do is we need to take the new housing and we need to orient it to this ring. And the way we're going to do that is we want this red dot here at the bottom. You can see there's a red hash right there. We want that lined up on the 0. So when we spin that around, you can see right here, we want that on the 0 line. Just like this, okay? Then we're gonna roll this over And we're going to take this ring and we're going to find the 0 line and the 180 line. And we're going to line them up and we're going to push them together just like this. And if we've got that right, if we've got it right, we've got our 0 lined up here. And we should be lined up on the front with our 0 here. 180 is our back azimuth there. And down here, we should be at 180, dead even with the 0, okay? That's the way we line that back up. It's pretty simple. Then we're gonna take this and we're gonna shove it back in this housing. And it will slide right in there because you don't have the locking ring on there. I orientate that thing at 0 just to keep it where it's supposed to be. And you can see there are slots in here all the way around. And there are tabs on this that go in those slots. So all you need to do is line those up and just force that back on and snap it in place. And now you're back in business. If you want to adjust your magnetic declination, you'll grab a hold of this inner ring, holding on to the black ring, you adjust it from the inner side, just like this. You can see how it's moving off the 0 line there. We'll run that right back to 0 declination for right now. So we've got everything back together the way it's supposed to be, so that when 0 is at the top of the compass and we're at 0 declination, we're in between the line exactly with our 0 right there, lined up with the red, so that we can adjust our declination from the back. And like I said, this is pretty much a no tool takedown. But if for some reason you take your parts out, you push that housing out of the middle, and everything stays together, I'm not so sure that that's a great big deal. But you can get this ring off just by sticking a small screwdriver underneath it and popping it up, just like that. And everything will come apart just like it did when I pushed it out the first time. And we can talk about the small tool kit that I carry in this video as well, because I carry a very small pouch of tools that, generally speaking, I keep in my kits most of the time. And the pouch is no bigger than this. And we can talk about that in a few minutes. You can see it's about the size of the palm of my hand. Okay, so as far as this tool kit goes that I carry in this pouch, there's a couple sail needles in here for doing repair. Drop them in the bottom. There's an extension here for a Leatherman. Drop that in the bottom. 2 sets of bits, from screwdrivers to star bits, all the way up to Allen bolts, things like that. Whether it's a gun, a fishing reel, anything like that, you can pretty much work on it with that. I carry this Leatherman Skeletool XL. It's got the bit driver on it. It's got a pair of pliers, and it's got a nice knife blade on it. So it's got everything I need as far as that goes to give me a tool that also fits all of those bits. And then I carry a Swiss Army knife here. This is the Pathfinder version. This one has the saw and it has the scissors, okay? That's important to me, that it has both of those, saw and scissors. And then it has a small screwdriver for adjusting declination on like a Silva compass, or for adjusting eyeglasses and things like that. You have the same thing in your bit drivers as well, but this is just easier to hold on to. And then I have a small Olight flashlight on there as well, in case I need a flashlight while I'm working. And all of that fits really easily into this small pouch and doesn't weigh very much to carry around, to give you lots and lots of tools to work on your gear. Okay guys, that was just a quick video on, number one, a small tool kit that you can carry around. You really don't need any tools most of the time to affect the repair on these Brunton compasses. The first time and second time I've taken them apart, it didn't require any tools to put it back together or take it apart. But I showed you how to do that in case it stays together in the housing when you push the middle out. It just takes one small screwdriver to pry that thing out and pop it apart. However, it's a very simple repair. Brunton's customer service is top notch. All you have to do is call them with any problems. They'll take care of you. Zach's a great guy in customer service and sales. And like I said, Lauren, the owner of Brunton Compass, is a fantastic lady. It's a female-owned American company, and I enjoy working with them. So I wanted to give you guys this video today to show you how to fix your compass. If you've got a problem with it and you have a Brunton compass, There are other videos online that show how to do this made by Brunton Company, but I thought making a video for my channel would be a good idea while I was replacing the housing. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your support. I thank you for everything you do for school, for family, and for business. For all of our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends, and I hope to see you at a class at the Pathfinder School Worldwide here in Southeast Ohio in 2025. Thanks, guys.